in today's video, we will be discussing the air squat. This is what an air squat looks like. And it's probably a movement that most of you are familiar with. We're gonna dive a little bit deeper into that today. So there's three major muscles that the air squat targets. It targets your quadriceps right here on the front of your thighs, your hamstrings on the back of your thighs, and then your glutes. So when you're doing an air squat, you want to place your feet slightly wider than shoulder width apart. To initiate the movement, you're going to send your hips back, and you're also going to keep your chest high and upright. So let's see what that looks like. Some other tips to remember is that you want to make sure that your knees are not tracking over your toes when performing the movement. That means when you're down like this, your knee should not be ahead of your toe. Rather, it should be right at it or slightly behind it. If you were to draw a line from your knee to your toe, it should be straight. The other thing you want to remember is that you want to try to get below parallel. What that means is when you're in the bottom of the squat, the crease of your hip is below your knee. As I'm sitting at the bottom of the squat, the crease of my hip is below the knee. The last thing we want to remember is to engage all the muscles and try to send the knees out when coming back up from the squat. If the air squat is too hard, we can do a modification to make it easier. One of the things we can do is not go below parallel. This means that you don't send your body down as far. Another thing we can do is use a wall or a rig to support us. So what does that look like? If we're not going to go below parallel, maybe this is as far as you go, and that's okay. And if you're going to use something like a rig, you can put your hands on it and use them to guide yourself down and then go back up. It's important that we master the air squat first and work on these modifications so that we can eventually build up to a proper air squat. Once you have mastered the air squat, you can work on other types of squats. So there's the back squat, which in most cases you use a barbell and you put it on your back high or low and you go down. There's also the front squat, where normally the barbell will sit up here and you go down. There is the overhead squat, where the barbell is brought overhead. There's also goblet squats, which in most cases utilizes a dumbbell or a kettlebell, held at the chest level and goes down like this. You can also do Cossack squats or a lateral squat, where you put yourself a little bit wider and you go down each side. And then the last one we're going to discuss is the Bulgarian split squat, which you can use a bench or a chair to do. You put one foot up on the bench behind you, kick this leg out a little bit, and then go down. When you're doing your squats, you can use anything for weight. Body weight is used in the air squat, and you can also use a barbell, which is what you commonly see, using the rack. You can also use dumbbells and kettlebells, and they can be held like a goblet, eye level, overhead. There's many different ways to use them. And then you can also use resistance bands where you put them on the ground and use the resistance to go up and down. And really, you can use anything. You can use a jug of water, soup cans, anything that adds weight to make the movement more difficult.